What's up and welcome back to another video, and let's just get straight into it. The Borderlands future looks awful. Today, I'm going to give you my final update on the Borderlands franchise in 2023, as I don't think we're going to see any crazy updates before the year is up. Now, for anybody who's familiar with my videos here, you'll know that I've been very critical about how Gearbox has handled the recent projects all the way up to my criticism towards their current direction. So, for anybody not familiar, Garbage Box has a very busy year ahead of them, as not only is the company itself still up for sale, but we've got a lot of Borderlands projects slated for 2024. The biggest being the rumors of Borderlands 4 coming out in Q4 of 2024. While that doesn't even sound real to me, with how things have shaped up here lately, honestly, nothing would shock me. But hey, we got the Borderlands movie on the way, right? Which I've done an entire video giving my full thoughts on what I think of that whole mess. And then we also have a couple other small projects that will eventually just fall into obscurity because there's not enough people to care. You know, the book and the echoing death of the franchise live. But that's not all I'm here to talk about today, as just here recently we've had some new leaks confirm that they are now working on a new Tiny Tina's Wonderlands game, with it simply being called Tiny Tina's Wonderlands 2. And if this is your first time hearing that, I would like to apologize personally for being the first one to break the news. While I'm about 99% sure we won't see that game until late 2025 or maybe even 2026, I'd like to assume that they wouldn't want to compete with GTA 6, so more than likely I'd expect this one to come out sometime after Q4 of 2025. Which begs the question, is Borderlands 4 being rushed out next year? Because as of right now, all signs point to us getting official Borderlands 4 news next year, as it's been confirmed to be in development, which if you're curious to hear more on those leaks, I'll leave the link in the top of the description to that video. But that's not what we're here to discuss, as it's no secret that the franchise is truly in an awful state. With the most recent Gearbox project, Echoes from the Borderlands, a Gearbox-led podcast, completely shit the bed in terms of numbers. I mean, it's actually laughable how poor this thing performed. And you can't just blame Gearbox's YouTube channel or the fact that the company has no eyes on them right now. As you'll see right here, Risk of Rain videos on their very YouTube channel that they uploaded this podcast on, completely destroying the Borderlands podcast in terms of numbers. Pretty fun games, by the way. So it's not just the company itself that's struggling, it's Borderlands as a whole that's struggling. Wonderland's sales figures still being private information to this very day. No matter how many times these big creators try and tell you everything's hunky-dory, it'll all be alright, it's really not. Cause sure, some of the well-known names in our community are all going to do just fine. Whether Borderlands dies or not, you're still going to have guys who continue to post it. And there's nothing wrong with that, and I have nothing against it. But why are more of us not using this time wisely and pointing out the glaring issues that we have with this series? And actually express how we'd like it to be better. And yes, I understand the sentiment that it may seem pointless to throw out criticism when we have no idea if it'll even be heard, listened to, read, etc. What you might not care to know is, not only does Gearbox have people employed to read comments, live streams, read the Reddit posts, and their official Discord, but in the past the community has banded together to make positive changes to the game. While lobbying for changes to our cult classics may not necessarily do much, because Gearbox's support to their old games is mediocre to say the least. I mean, come on. Gearbox actually recently threw up this tweet just 3 or 4 days ago. There are still 2 shift codes that the community has yet to find in the Echoes from the Borderlands podcast. We'll give you a hint. There's one in episode 9. Assuming someone's already found the shift code from episode 9 and shared it, that would mean that they really thought people were going to watch all 9 episodes of this podcast for a shift code. I don't know about you, but I've got a lot better shit to do. And in that schedule of shit to do is not 8 hours of blah 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 blah. Which yes, I actually did calculate that time and figure out how long those episodes would be collectively. I use this time calculator online because I'm awful at math, and if you're confused where the numbers come from, the top number is the amount of time it would take to watch episode 1 through 8, which I added up myself, and the bottom number is the length of episode 10, which got me to this number. Now, I'm not going to judge. It's up to you what you want to do with your time, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to go outside because I actually make good life choices. And the reason I bring this up is because no one cares about shift codes anymore. And when the upcoming projects come out and they do whatever they're going to do, it's really going to be a telltale sign of if Borderlands has some legs to stand on moving forward. As Wonderlands is still being played less than Borderlands 2, which shouldn't just be brushed over, and instead they should put it under a microscope, break down Borderlands 2 and figure out what the hell made it work and why it's still the game that so many people go back to. Figure out new ways to innovate and change what we know Borderlands to be. And no, that doesn't mean make it an online-only experience. We have plenty of those turds that need flushed down the toilet already. Instead, figure out some completely unique classes, like let us play as a loader bot. Or make another one of the popular NPCs a playable character, like Tiny Tina for example. Playable characters we are already familiar with has already been proven to work with the pre-sequel. So, instead of being tone-deaf developers who hide and suppress any legitimate criticism on your social media platforms, like giving me the OnlyFans bot treatment when I commented on the tweet about the hidden shift codes, saying, quote, "'cause nobody's watching that shit." You asked why no one found it. I was just giving you the politically correct answer. Well, sure, maybe a little harsh. Do the numbers lie? No, they don't.
The numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you as sacrifice.
But I guess my 5 likes or whatever must have really hurt somebody's feelings over at Gearbox. So, if you're out there, buddy, I really hope I didn't break your heart. But on the same hand, I also don't care. Whether it's the movie, Wonderlands 2, I'm going to hold out hope, but I'm certainly not holding my fucking breath. The future hasn't looked this awful for Borderlands in a long time. If it weren't for the fans of these games, it would have died years ago after the pre-sequel flopped. But because we won't let it go, because we keep playing it, Gearbox thinks that this means that we just want more. And over the years, they've continued to make their money for giving out less and less content. While I've stated this before, today I wanted to delve further into just how damn terrible the future of this series really looks. As I said earlier in the video though, this is our chance to submit ideas, critiques, and complaints that you all have. So please, whether it's something you have to see return in the next game, or something you want completely abandoned altogether, you never know who might see this video. So, let's use this video as a reference for when Borderlands 4 does come out. We'll be able to look back at all of the obvious things that are completely absent from the game, or all the things that they did right. Either way, I don't have a very good feeling about it. But seriously, I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. I really appreciate you guys for watching this video in its entirety. If you would, please smash a like on it and subscribe if you guys are new. I love you guys to death, and I also just wanted to say sorry for the lack of uploads here lately. I'm going to try to get up more than just one video next week. I've just had a lot going on lately, and I just want you all to know that I haven't forgot about you. And every day, I'm thinking about getting to the next video. I hope you all are having a great December though thus far. Please take it easy out there, stay safe, and with that, I will see you all in the next one.